Let's ferment some hot peppers. Hello everybody and welcome back. As you can see here, I got a big old basket of some pretty vicious looking hot peppers and some other random veg. What are we doing today? I'm going to be prepping these guys to get ready to ferment so that in a week to 10 days or so, we can make some hot sauce. So kind of a fun little project today. We got a whole variety of hot peppers. We started our hot pepper plants from seed, and it was literally a mixed pepper medley packet. So we really didn't know what we were gonna get, and did we get a variety? Why ferment? So if you've been here a while, you know that I dabble in fermentation. A while back, I made some sauerkraut. We did our brine pickles. I've been doing fermentation for about 3 years now. I really love it. It just adds such a wonderful flavor to pickled vegetables, and of course, very gut healthy. If any of you know anything about fermentation, you know they're very high in probiotics, and it's just good for you. And I can and have the time, so why not? So what do I got here for peppers? Literally everything. Like I said, we didn't really know what we were gonna get. We got some cherry peppers. We have we got habaneros. These are very spicy this year. I don't know, they just seem like they're packing a little bit extra of a punch. Cherry peppers, habaneros. We have cayennes, serranos, pepperoncinis. There's some, I think it's piquillo. Am I saying that right? Piquillo peppers, which is really nice because they have a little bit of a warm heat, but not really that bad, but they're very sweet. So I think because we're kind of taking a gamble here and making hot sauce from a bunch of hot peppers, it's gonna be a nice balance for everything. I don't know how this is gonna come out, so we will see together. I also have some carrots that I'm gonna peel, chop up, and throw in the fermentation crock too. Just a nice little natural sweetener. You're not gonna taste carrot, and it's just, again, another balance of flavor. And then of course, onions and garlic. I don't know if this is really typical of hot sauce. I like to throw it in there. I know there's like a million different ways people make hot sauce. Probably some more correct methods than others, but this is how I've done it before. With specific hot peppers, and it's always come out great. So I'm gonna prep these, get everything washed, carrots peeled, garlic whacked, onion chopped up, and the good thing about making hot sauce is that we really don't have to cut these in any perfect way, because everything's gonna end up pureed in the end anyway. Wear gloves. Always wear gloves when you're working with hot peppers. I made the mistake once of just very small batch of hot peppers that I was quick pickling, literally like a pound of peppers, and my hands it was so bad. So bad. Wear the gloves whenever you're prepping with hot peppers. I can already almost like feel the heat just by touching these. So I'm gonna get these prepped and we'll be back. All right, welcome back. We got our veg all prepped, chopped up peppers. We got our carrots, garlic, and onion ready to go. And I have very thoroughly cleaned, washed, and sterilized my fermentation crock. So what's next? It's fairly fast from here on out. What are we gonna be fermenting these in? We are going to, it's a very simple salt and water brine for every pound of peppers. So weighing matters here. I ended up with 5 pounds of total veg between the peppers and the others. And for every pound of peppers or vegetable, you need a brine of 2 cups of water with 1 tablespoon of salt dissolved into it at room temperature. This is not a brine that you heat. You just mix it, water and salt at room temperature, keep whisking it and let it do its thing till it's thoroughly dissolved. But like anything else, believe it or not, the type of water you use and the type of salt you use matters. Stay away from your typical table salt, which includes iodine and often anti-caking agents. These can interfere with the proper bacteria growth needed for fermentation. Kosher salt, sea salt, or pickling salt is fine. You want to stay away from municipal or town water. These are chlorinated, have chloramine in them, sometimes fluoride, and this can also inhibit the proper bacteria growth for fermentation. Just use filtered or spring water for your brine. All right, so our brine is ready to go. Let's get everything into our crock. I like to put the carrots, garlic, and onion in the bottom. They're like the onion and garlic are a little bit lighter in weight. I don't want them to kind of come to the surface and get up above that weight. So the peppers will kind of help weigh them down and prevent that from happening. So those are down in there. Now we're gonna go in with our peppers. Hopefully I don't spill half of them. So again, I ended up with 5 pounds of total veg. So that means I'm gonna need a brine of 10 cups of water and 5 tablespoons of salt. That is the math. So I'm gonna get these in here. I'll be right back. All right, we got everything packed down in there. I pushed everything down just to make sure everything's just, you know, as squished down as possible. And now we are going to add our brine. This pouring spout sucks. Hopefully I don't lose half the brine. Here we go. Don't put your face over this. Perfect. Perfect amount of brine. Ratio works every time. If you find that you're a little shy of brine, just simply make another 2 cups with 1 tablespoon of water. Or no, excuse me, wrong. 2 cups of water with 1 tablespoon of salt. Just make a little extra brine. It's not a big deal. And don't, see, this is already like really spicy. Keep it away from your face. Ouch. Don't inhale it. All right, I'm just pushing these down more. I want that water to be completely above those peppers. Yep. All right, now I'm gonna put my weights in to keep these guys submerged completely in the brine. In with our weights. Yeah, this is already pretty peppery. Oof. I keep telling you not to stick your face over it, but I keep doing it. Just making sure. Yeah, so we're all submerged. I'm gonna see if I can get kind of a picture down in there for you so you can see what it looks like. All right, here we are. You can see that our peppers are completely submerged in that brine. Some of the seeds will surface, but they'll be fine. That's not going to cause an issue. And we are ready to seal it up. So these fermentation crocks come with a rim that you pour water in, and then you apply a lid, and that's what creates our seal. Very simple. These crocks are super convenient and make it so much easier to do this. Pour in about, I want to say probably about a ½ inch of water. I unfortunately dropped and broke the lid that came with this, but I happen to have a metal bowl that fits in here perfectly. Like this. Creates a seal. And you can already sort of feel that it sucked it right down. So we are sealed, and that's it. That's it, super simple. How long can this take? So you can let this go a week to 3 weeks. Honestly, at this point, it's just a preference in the flavor that it sort of produces. Obviously, the longer you go, the more, I guess, funky, so to speak, it gets. I'm comfortable with about 10 days, especially this time of year. We are in perfect fermenting temperatures. I mean, perfect weather for fermenting. and which is 65 to 75 degrees is ideal temp. So we are there. I love this time of year for this reason, for doing a lot of this stuff. So I'm happy with 10 days typically. The only thing I gotta do is just check that this rim maintains water to keep the seal. Again, cooler weather, the water doesn't evaporate as quickly, so I check it every day, but every 2 days you could probably get away with. And that is it. So we will take a peek at this in 10 days, and we will probably be making some hot sauce at that time. I hope you learned something today. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the bottom. And as always, thank you for watching. I lied, the video is not over. I wanted to mention to you that you don't have to have one of these fermentation crocks to do this. You can actually use mason jars. So make the brine exactly the same way. Fill your jars up, clean, sterilized jars up with your vegetables. Pour your brine over it. You gotta find something, you could use a flat stone, something clean to weigh it down, and then just throw your mason jar lid and ring over it. The only difference is that you have to burp the jar. That's what they call it, because it's gonna build up gas and pressure in there. So every day with a mason jar, you just have to unscrew the lid and let a little bit of that gas that builds up out. Using the mason jar is incredibly simple. Like I said, you just have to release some of that gas from the jar every day. So you don't have to go out and buy some big fancy fermentation crock. And they're that crock, that size was about $50. I have another one that was smaller, about $30. Not super expensive, but if you have mason jars laying around, you can certainly use that. All right, now we're really leaving. Take care.